Tutorial: build and launch your Python Flask app on an Azure. In this tutorial, we will walk through the steps to deploy a Python Flask application on an Azure virtual machine. This process will include setting up them, installing necessary software, creating a simple Flask app and running it. Prerequisites: and Azure account. You can create a free account. Basic knowledge of Python and Flask. Azure client installed on your local machine, optional but recommended. Step 1. Create an Azure virtual machine. 1. Log into Azure portal. Go to the Azure portal apps portal azure.com and log in. Create a new virtual machine. Click on Create a resource in the left sidebar. Choose virtual machine. Fill in the required fields. Subscription. Choose your subscription. Resource group. Create a new resource group or use an existing one. Name. Choose a name for your avo. Region. Choose your preferred region. Your preferred image. Select a Linux distribution, e.g. Ubuntu 20.4 Ults. Size. Choose a size, e.g. bones for testing. Authentication type. Choose public key or password. Username. Set a username. Public key. Using paste your public key. Click Review. Create and then create. Step 2. Connect to the virtual machine. Once your VM is created, connect to it using Step 3. Install Python and Flask. 1. Update package lists bash sudo apt update. 2. Install Python and pip bash sudo apt install Python 3 pip Python 3 venv. 3. Install Flask bash pip 3 install Flask. Step 4. Create a simple Flask application. 1. Create a project or directory bash myFlask app. 2. Set up a virtual environment, optional but recommended, bash Python 3 venv sources venv bin activate. 3. Create a Flask app. Create a file named app python app py from Flask. Import Flask app, Flask name, app route, def home, return hello Azure. Run the Flask app bash Python 3 app. Your Flask application should now be running on port 80. Step 6. Configure Azure network security groups. 1. Open port 80 in the AE portal. Go to your settings. Under Settings, click on Networking. Click on Add Inbound Port Rule. Set source. Any source port ranges destination. Any destination port ranges 80. Protocol. Action. Allow priority. Set a priority, e.g. 1000. Name. Give it a name, e.g. allow. Click on Add. Step 7. Access your Flask application now. Open a web browser and go to your VIP address. You should see Hello Azure. Step 8. Run Flask app in the background, optional if you want your Flask app to continue running after you disconnect from this session. Consider using NoHop or a process manager like Screen or Tmux. Using NoHop bash NoHop Python 3 app py. 2. Using Screen bash sudo apt install screen Python 3 app. You can detach from the screen session by pressing curl then reattach with Screener. Conclusion: you have successfully deployed a Flask application on an Azure virtual machine. This basic setup can be expanded with additional features, such as using a database, managing static files, and deploying to production. Feel free to customize your Flask app further and explore more Azure services.